thinking about. But I want to shift gears, and I'm going to go over to our Facebook page because there's a few things I want to talk about that I think are just newsworthy at this particular point. So here we are at Ben and Barry on Football on Facebook. And right now, one of the things that's happening, in the midst of all of this movement between the free agency, which is still happening, and the draft, which is what, less than a week away?
Yep.
They are still pulling people in from the now defunct American Alliance or Alliance of American Football, AAF. And we were really happy about that. We thought that this could be a jump off point for a lot of players to get into the NFL. And it's actually happening where they're actually moving in and getting a chance to play. This is one of the articles. I actually picked this up off of Instagram. Washington Redskins signed free agent quarterback Josh Woodrum. He had come in with the Giants as an undrafted free agent. And so this is just one example. I've seen a number of different examples where the AAF now are beginning to get signed. And I just wanted to mention that. I think that's a great thing. Any particular point you want to make on that?
Again, it's a shame that the AAF had to fold so quickly. I didn't think it would be long before some of those guys got picked up. And in fact, as soon as they said it was cool, it became cool. And every day across the ticker, so-and-so from an AAF team got picked up by an NFL team. So I think that's great. So it actually did provide an opportunity for some guys who hadn't previously gotten one. They were able to be seen in game situations against decent talent, and they got some jobs. What'll really be interesting is when we get through training camp to see how many AAF guys actually stuck with the final 53 on each team.
Yeah, right. And because that's the bottom line. I mean, you now have the AAF as a feeder. You know, you got college, the draft coming on. You got the movement with the free agents and things of that nature. The other thing that I wanted to mention here is that the international aspect of football is something we've talked about in previous shows, and that's now becoming a phenomenon where colleges now are recruiting internationally on a pretty high level. These are your top football schools are now going over to Europe and holding tryouts, I guess, or they're going over to take a look at some of the players that are coming that are available. You've even had some players who have left Europe. They come here, they finish up the last year of high school here, and then they get moved into the college recruiting pipeline. So this is an article that you can check out on Ben and Barry on Football and which talks about that. We actually kind of were looking at it the other way around, thinking, at least I was in one of the previous shows, that you had a lot of college guys coming out that maybe would go play in Europe if they couldn't make it in the NFL. I think that's still a possibility, but let's face it, the highest level of football right now is right here in America. So there's going to be some movement back and forth. And again, the NFL is really growing the number of games that they're playing, internationally in London and Mexico, for example. So the exposure to American football is really increasing.
I'd say that's a big plus for, again, guys like the guys that were in the AAF who probably were not drafted out of college, didn't get a free agent look. They had somewhere to go, someplace to showcase their talents. The leagues over in Europe, I'm sure would be more than happy to have as many American players as they possibly could. And of course, as the game picks up over there, there's going to be some young kids coming up that the NFL is probably going to cherry pick and take from over there. So,
as you say that, it is happening. Well, one of the places that they're going is to the CFL. And as you can see here in this particular post that we have on our website, you have a former CFL wide receiver in Finland. So they're really playing some ball now, beginning to play American-style football across Europe and across the United States. This is the Facebook page for the American Football International. This is an organization that's putting together, or that's sort of, I guess, coordinating as a league. You've got a lot of football now being played in places like Egypt, Norway, Finland, and I'm talking American football. And so I wanted to kind of bring that out. Here you have a Swedish linebacker playing at Notre Dame. You've got you got some Italian football being played there, and 35,000 likes on Facebook. That's pretty hefty. It's not the NFL, but that just kind of points out what you was just saying that there's a growing trend and a growing fondness for American-style football. Many of the people that are pointed out in some of these articles were people who had somewhat successful athletic careers in other sports, soccer, handball, all of those types of things. So we might have to learn a second, third, and fourth language.
No, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think this might have to happen. So look, I wanted to just mention that we are trying to expose that there's an international facet now to NFL style football that I think it's worthwhile to keep an eye on, how it's going to affect colleges and the drafting of players now with different competition levels, international competition, how it's going to affect salaries, as they're coming over and whether they can make the team. As a matter of fact, my man, Peter Schrager, Good Morning Football, today's his birthday. Shout out to Peter. Happy birthday. I sent him a tweet, happy birthday to him, because that's one of my favorite, if not my favorite analysts out there right now. He gets into the weeds. He's discovered another kicker that's coming in. Was it the Seahawks that had a kicker who had a lot of trick kicks? He was doing drop punts and all types of stuff. I think it might have been him. But this guy has a name now. I forget what his name was, but whoever Peter was talking about, he was super excited about this guy and his ability because, as you know, like with the kickoff rule now, the different teams don't want to kick it into the end zone because that automatically brings it out to the 25. So to play that yardage game now, they're looking at ways to kick the ball so that it dies right there around the 5-yard line, where the player has to then, do something with it, and you have the chance to potentially tackle him and get him down before he gets to the 25, so you have a net positive, yardage for your defense. So these different kickers and stuff like that, that's something Peter was talking about where he was saying how good this guy was. But again, these are people coming internationally. When they did a study recently, they did not even include the kickers because we're kind of used to kickers coming into the NFL, from an international source. But now we're talking linebackers, running backs, D linemen. They got some massive people coming over here. Guys that are like 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" linemen who've been playing soccer, for example.
Right.
And so it's going to be interesting to see how this grows?
I'm thinking and hoping that maybe we see some more rugby players come over, since that seems to be the game that closest associates with football. But
I still never understood. The Eagles picked up the guy, the rugby guy, and all his videos was him running through and over people, and they went straight to linemen.
yeah,
They didn't even give him a chance to try to run the ball or to teach him or anything.
he probably can't do it. He's probably not good at it.
You think he just didn't try out well? I mean, he was good at it in rugby. I mean, he was like a superstar. He wasn't a
Yeah,
regular running guy. He was like beast mode of rugby.
it's a different game.
Well, we'll see how that works out. Okay, so close out. Um, we just want to usually go through our social media. Here's the Facebook page for the Sterling Net Point Power Rankings. We will be publishing again shortly. We just went through the season, and as we shared the NFL schedule, I could smell the net points firing up here for our Net Point Power Rankings. So I'm really looking forward to the new season and how the net points are going to play out. We have our Twitter page at B&B on Football. And again, join us. Did you see the playbook? Kirk Cousins put out a picture of the playbook.
No.
Massive playbook there. They asked him, said, well, how are you going to attack the playbook? He said, well, same way you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. He said, you start at the first page, go through it, write your questions down, and go from there.
Can't
That's
think
a
of
lot of plays, though.
Yeah.
About normal.
I'd say Gruden's book is bigger than that.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Well, it would be because the name of the play takes up 3 lines.
Yep.
That was one of the questions about him. Is he going to be able to run any type of a hurry up offense when your play verbiage takes 60 seconds to spit it out?
I don't know that he's even interested in that.
I don't know either. It's the wave of the NFL right now, but I don't know either. So again, we did finally get our Instagram page up, and our followers are growing by leaps and bounds. I think it grew by 100% in the last week. That went from about 13 to about 27. So there we go with that. And finally, if you go to www.benandbarryonfootball.com, it will take you to our YouTube channel directly, where the archive of all of the videos and that we have and all of the things that we've talked about, like the international, for example, is all there. You can go back and review a lot of that information. Our list of all of the top draft picks. We went through that and we talked about that. So there's a lot of good stuff there for anyone who wants to go through anything. So just wanted to go through our social media real quick.